Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update brought to you by KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Hopefully everybody is doing absolutely fantastic wherever you happen to be located in the world and however you happen to be watching this fine stream today. My name is Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. And this is the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update, your daily source for alpha, information, technical analysis, news, and much, much more. If you want to support what we're doing, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. That is the platform we are growing the fastest on. And like the video. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm notices us. It's the only way you're going to get notifications, right? You got to hit the like button. All right. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Fairdesk second anniversary trading competition. We're going to be talking about multiple theories of where Bitcoin is going. Obviously, you know, something's got to give, right? We can't just grind 25K. People are getting antsy. People are getting restless. I'm going to share some words of wisdom with you guys because we are so close to the end of the bear market. We are so close. And what's so funny about this is that I've been through, this is going to be my third cycle of active trading, and, you know, running, you know, the show and the stream and the trading group and everything that we do with social media and all that stuff. You know, it's interesting to me to watch the very predictable pattern of engagement with our content, right? Because when we are in the bull market and everything's flying, I mean, we're getting subscribers left and right. New people are joining the group all the time. It's crazy, right? And, you know, this is just everybody in crypto, but everybody notices this kind of slow suck out. It's very similar to like seeing liquidity and prices go down, right? But everybody sees this slow suck out of engagement, and we're just so close to the end of the bear market. I know it, I feel it, things are good. So listen, guys, this is the time in the market, right? When Bitcoin, if we do break 25K right now, and start heading down. Obviously, there's going to be volatility, but you guys know my 4-year cycle thesis. We will end up down at $18,000 to $20,000 before we push off to the next bull market. That's almost assured. But this is the time. It's like right now, you know, people are going to get frustrated and they're going to leave the markets. They're going to just opt out of the game, and they're going to stop trading. They're going to stop investing. They're going to stop paying attention to crypto. You know, why should I even pay attention? Nothing's happening. Everything's just going back down again. This is the time to accumulate. This is the time to rehash your convictions. This is the time to develop your own investment or trading thesis. This is the time to work on your strategy. Because if you don't, and you just wait until the headlines pull you back into the market, you're going to be too late, and you're going to be struggling and scrambling to put together something, and you're going to get inadequate results. So stay the course. We are so close. You guys have done amazing if you're still with us up to this point. And Shangri-La is just beyond the other corner. All right. With that out of the way, let's get into the markets. We're going to start off, of course, with the charts, and then we will get into, we'll start with Bitcoin. We'll move into Ethereum. We'll review our altcoins. We'll get into DeFi, and then we'll do current events. But we will be starting off with the Fairdesk promo. So let's go. Okay. Well, for some reason, it wants to show you our Discord. Great Discord. If you guys aren't in the Discord, you should definitely be in the Discord. I'll get it here in just a second, guys. Oh, so close. So close. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I had rearranged my monitors the other day, and yeah, apparently it's being weird. We'll get the music on as always. You guys let me know if it's a little too small, a little too low, a little too loud. I will adjust for your viewing pleasure. All right. Starting off, if you guys have not signed up to trade on Fairdesk yet, the link is down in the description. They are currently hosting their second anniversary trading competition. There's about 1.8 million USDT up for grabs. Some fantastic physical prizes as well. Do they still have the, yeah, here we go. Giving away a Ducati, the Rolex Submariner, which is, you know, kind of like what I'm trying to strive for. iPhone 15, like who wants that? Like, come on now. A Model X, Antarctic Cruise, Alps, Miami hotels. Anyways, and then of course just trading competition. So develop your chops, go out there, show it off, brag. And pretty cool. So I've been actively trading in this. You can already start redeeming prizes if you are trading. So pretty fun. We always like trading competitions. It's just fun. Just keep doing what you're already doing. Maybe ramp up your volume if you want to ramp up your volume. That'll probably get you in line to get prizes more often. But you know, just something fun to do, especially as we are in the depths of the bear market. Copy trading updates. Copy trading. Of course, you can sign up to copy trade me as well on the Fairdesk platform. We are doing okay. 50% win rate because I've only taken one trade in the past week. That was just this little L that we had right here. 38 total trades so far, 31 won trades, 7 lost trades. Not too bad for the week. That one little baby trade put me down, but doing good. Followers are going to be okay. Let's see here. Link for that is in the description as well. All right, let's get into what's going on. Bitcoin, of course. We'll start off on the weekly. And this is kind of the, this is exactly what I said earlier, right? Bitcoin on the weekly, we did cross and close below the weekly haul moving average 60, and we've just continued sliding down ever since then. I put out the signal to hedge. I did pull my hedge off here, so I'm gonna have to reevaluate that. And this is just exactly what I said on my market update this morning to the premium members. If we do continue to descend down here, we're gonna have to get back into the hedge as well to take us down 18 to 20. I mean, it's not something that I'm so concerned about. It's going to, I guess, hurt in the short term to have unhedged Bitcoin spot holdings. But at the same time, this is also the period in which I am accumulating the most actively. The further we go down, the more aggressive I get. And I want to touch on a concept now real quick that I talked about in last week's mentoring session. And by the way, we just posted a new video to YouTube yesterday, how to prepare for the next cryptocurrency bull market. If you are going to be investing, if you're going to be trading in the next cryptocurrency bull market, if you want to optimize your returns, if you want to avoid the pain points that you might have experienced in previous cycles, most common culprits being I held on to my bags, I entered too late, I bought back in at the top. All these things are very common to the widest majority of retail traders. And if you experience any of these issues, I cover all of that. I go into in-depth strategies on how to allocate properly as we're moving into the last stages of the bear market, how to distribute so that you can actually get out of the markets with your profits and not become a bag holder, and a lot of different strategies. So go check that video out. It's our first video on YouTube right now. But I want to just touch on this concept because it's very, very, very important. This is another video that we did for the premium members, and that's premium exclusive. It's on the website, but I'm going to give you guys a little taste of it, essentially what I talked about. This kind of idea of how to allocate your funds between the money that you're trading with, like on the exchange, and the money that you want to invest in, the money that you want to use to pick up, altcoins or Bitcoin or Ethereum and ride them for the bull market and then exit somewhere in profit and retire and sail off to the sunset. There's a right and a wrong way to do this. And I'm going to tell you guys right now the correct way to allocate your funds between your investment portfolio and your trading account. And we have to rewind just a little bit, and we need to think about money in general, right? Because to actually make moves, to actually make significant plays in the cryptocurrency markets, you have to have some money in your accounts. You can't just be all leverage. You can't just put $100 in your account. It's very difficult to turn $100 into $1 million. It doesn't matter how wildly you use leverage. It doesn't matter how wildly successful you are, because if you're starting off with such a small amount, you're gonna have to take extremely high amounts of risk, extremely high amounts of leverage. And I don't care what your hit rate is, eventually you're gonna get wiped out because you're gonna have a couple bad trades, and using that kind of high leverage is gonna destroy your account. So you can take your $100 account all the way up to like 10,000 and then just not get knocked back right down. Doesn't matter if you take it all the way up to $100,000. If you keep trading the same way, you're gonna get knocked out. So you're gonna have to have a source of income. Obviously, this is what your mother told you your whole life. You gotta get a job. And when you have that job, the first thing I generally recommend individuals to do is to allocate funds into their trading account. So you need to make either slowly over time or a one-time, pop it in there, allocation to your trading account. And I recommend anywhere between $1,000 to $5,000. That's really the amount that you need to actually be able to trade safely and to be able to begin growing that sustainably. All right. Obviously, more is better because you'll be able to grow your account faster. But again, in the beginning, you want to start with a moderate amount, and you want to trade that safely. You want to use risk management, 2% risk per trade, understand what you're doing, build that up slowly over time. Never, ever, ever, after you have made that $1,000 to $5,000 allocation to your trading account, you do not ever put more money into your trading account unless two things happen. The one thing, which is what you want to happen, is that you see over a course of several months, your equity curve going up steadily, that you are actually making money from your trading, things are going well. If you are seeing that, okay, allocate more money into your trading account, keep doing what you're doing, keep making more money, go for you. The only other time you're going to put money into your trading account is if you liquidate yourself. If you just completely crash and burn your trading account, it's probably going to happen. It's happened to me 3 or 4 times. And then you got to top yourself back up or you're out of the game. So we've gone over how to fund your trading account. Under no circumstances do you take money out of your trading account, the money that's on the exchange, and use that to speculate on altcoin investments. Never, ever, ever. That's not how you do it. And nor do you ever take profits out of your trading account. You do not do that. when I was building up my trading account over the course of many years, there were so many situations that happened where I needed that money. I needed that 5 grand. I needed that 10 grand. I had a crisis in my life. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Or you're just going to completely reset all the progress. You will figure something out. I figured something out. I went and roofed a house. I took odd jobs, right? All this while I was doing my crypto trading and trying to become rich. You just got to suck it up. You got to do what is necessary. Take side jobs, but do not touch that money. You've made a commitment that you want to be a trader. You've done the work of getting the money, putting it in there, growing your account, doing all the work. You can't take profits out, not for a long time, not for several years, for real, with a trading account. You just can't. You got to build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up. And then once it's big enough, once you have about $100,000 account, then you can maintain that baseline of about $100,000 and you can start withdrawing monthly profits, right? As long as you're being consistently profitable, you can take that profit instead of reallocating into your trading account. You can actually use that to start paying your bills. And that's the moment when you are now a professional trader, when trading is your full-time income, when that is your regular income, when you've built it up to where you can live off the monthly profits from your trading account. All right. Okay. That out of the way. Do not take money out of your trading account to pay your bills, to get over crises. You will discover something. Or don't use it to speculate on long-term altcoin investments, because that's the same thing, right? You're blending two things. You're never going to go to your trading account if you're doing this over here. The way to make altcoin investments is the same way you initially built up your trading account. You have to take money out of the money you would rather spend on other things, and you need to put it into the market, into your cold wallet. Buy the tokens, move them off the exchange, put them in your cold wallet, and just wait for the end of the bull market. That's your bag. That's your moonshot bag. That is your opportunity to get some generational wealth out of these big 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x, 90x movements that we're going to see in the cryptocurrency markets. All right. I went over how to select tokens, how to do the research to identify the best potential altcoins. We went over that in depth in last week's mentoring session as well. So if you guys want to see that, you guys need to be in the group. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that, because that's a topic that's come up a lot in the comments and people have been asking me, and that's just kind of a perpetual question. So I'm probably going to cut this into a short, like multiple shorts or like a little video clip, so you guys can always reference this. But that is my official recommendation on how to sustainably fund your trading account, build your trading account, and how to properly make altcoin investments. Not from your trading account, not from your trading account profits. That's for your trading account. From the money you would rather spend on other things. So, need a new bicycle chain, or do you want to buy some Doge? You know what I'm saying? Like any other time, maybe buy the bicycle chain, but at this period in time, I would recommend buying the Doge. All right. Let's move on back to the charts. Okay. So here we are on the weekly time frame. Of course, we are starting to break down below this initial support level of about 25.7, 25.6. Now we are down about, what are we at? 25.148. So 25,000, of course, is the psychological level. We really don't want to see a daily close below that. Of course, one little close is okay. We could still rebound and pump. There's still a lot of evidence out there that we could still move to the upside here in the short term. But yeah, significant. If we continue to trade below 25,000, then I would feel fairly confident in saying that the descent to 18 to 20,000 has begun. And you can do with that whatever you want. You can look for the momentum short. You can wait for the next bounce to position, which is probably the safer thing. If you're not really positioned for this short, obviously there's this idea of momentum shorting, which is absolutely fine. But unless you're experienced and unless you can really manage your positions, typically the best thing to do is just to wait. If you feel like you've missed the trade, then you've probably missed the trade. So just waiting for a better entry is typically good, because what's going to happen in bearish movements is that everything moves as a wave. There's going to be ups and downs and ups and downs. So waiting for that next up and having that conviction. And the only way to do, like, it's so common. This is a big problem with trading. In a situation like this, you're like, oh man, I'm not in a short. Like, what do I do? Well, okay, I'm just going to wait for a bounce and then I'll short. All right. You tell yourself that. And then the bounce comes and you get bullish. You're like, oh, well, no, that was a bottom. I should have bought that. And then you don't short, and then you actually buy, and then the market moves down like you originally expected it would, and now you've lost money. So you have to determine your trade bias. You have to develop these ideas and these strategies ahead of time. You got to I'll show you. This is why I'm successful in trading. It's because I have a notepad next to my desk at all times. I write everything down. I write all my trades down. I write my emotions. I write my ideas. I write what I'm going to do. I use various, didactic methods, such as commanding myself in my text. When I write my things down, like not like a little checklist, like, hey, take out the trash, like, big bold letters, like, I want to short Bitcoin. I don't want to do it right now. I'm going to wait until we get a 5 to 7% pump, and then I will enter Bitcoin. I will not go long. I will not be bullish. I will look for the short. And then I follow through on that. And that's the key to success, guys. Consistency, 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 consistency. You know, just sticking to your plan, even if you're wrong. That's the thing. Everybody just wants to be a winner, right? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. But it's not that easy. It's not all just winning all the time. It's about being consistent, even with your losses, okay? It's about being consistent to yourself, because that is what builds up a confident trader. Somebody who feels confident in the positions they take. Somebody who feels that on average, they have a high probability to win when they enter into a trade. Otherwise, if you're always questioning your decisions, you're going to find yourself not taking the trades you need to take, because you're always going to be thinking, oh man, I lost the last trade that looked like this and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you need to do the healthy habits to build up the positive emotions and confidence. That is so core to being a good trader. I'd say that the vast majority of traders that get washed out, it's because they can't handle their emotions and they can't stay consistent. That's it. They can't handle their emotions. They can't stay consistent. So if you can do that, you're way ahead of the pack, and it's okay if you're losing money initially, right? Being consistent allows you to identify, being consistent and keeping a journal of what you're doing, keeping a record of what you're doing. If you're consistent with everything that you're doing and you're losing money, okay, that means that something in your strategy is wrong or not suited for this particular market environment, and you need to make an adjustment. And by keeping records of what you do, a trade journal, and by being consistent, you can make empirical changes in your strategy and how you take trades or how you position or where you take profit or where your stop loss is. All these things, they are scientific, they're empirical. You can change them, and if you're consistent with the changes, you can then interpret the new data and make changes accordingly. All right, so consistency. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. Smash that like button like a doji Satoshis, guys. Smash that like button like it's going to make your friend tech account just blow up. Like the tokens are just going to explode. All right. Okay. Now we do have, okay, so obviously we still have momentum from Wadatar explosion on the weekly, so we could still be in the short position. This is absolutely fine. We are, of course, testing near oversold levels, and I want to go look at our normie chart. I want to look at what the normies are looking at. This is like our kind of traditional TA setup. You know what the normies would consider TA. Obviously, you guys know we typically use traditional indicators in most of our strategies because they suck. But again, it's important to identify what the other normies are looking at. So we do have, let me make sure I have these settings correct. Should be, yes, the 200 SMA. All right. So we have lost the 200 SMA, right? We lost the 200 SMA over here. We are trading underneath the 200 SMA, and we did just get this death cross. This is the 50 EMA. I'm pretty sure the 50 SMA just crossed under, like on today's candle, I think, which might be the catalyst for today's down movement. But of course, we do have the death cross. You guys know that I've done a lot of analysis on death crosses on the daily. They actually aren't that great, to be quite honest with you. Golden crosses are even worse. Death crosses are a little bit better, but not so great. And typically what we see is that immediately following the death cross, we actually get a contrary movement back up to test some of these levels. Now, so here's the we got the daily across a while ago. We got the daily EMA cross, and you can actually see the death cross and then immediate pump right back up. And I think the 50 SMA cross just happened, if I'm not incorrect. This is what I was hearing all over Twitter. I never looked at the 50 SMA. Yeah, okay, so the 50 SMA cross is happening today, all right, is potentially happening today. So this is the 50 period simple moving average, the 200 period simple moving average on the daily, and we're getting this cross. And again, typically what we see, I'm still a bit of a bull here, guys. I still have long positions. Typically what we'd see here is a pump back up to that 200 period SMA immediately following that death cross. And if I change that SMA back to an exponential moving average, and I guess not nearly as quiet. This was the 21. Yeah. So I was looking at this incorrectly. The green line is the 21 exponential moving average. I was thinking even here, right? We didn't get that massive a pump, but as soon as the death cross opened, we got a contrary movement. So let's just cross our fingers and hope. We aren't extremely oversold here. We are actually experiencing a little bit of technical bullish divergence here. If we do bottom here, you guys can see that price made a low here, and we are currently making a lower low. but the RSI is not making a lower low. All right, so not too bad. We also do have still positive momentum from the MACD. So MACD momentum traders on the daily wouldn't necessarily be closing positions out at this point in time. So for the long traders out there, this is the probably the moment of highest conviction, like to hold past this sweep below. And we are betting on the fact that this is a sweep of the lows and that we will get a movement back up here close to probably like 27.6 would be very good. It'll close all my positions in profit, and life would be very good. And then up at that 27.6, that's when we would probably be looking for that short, because what is our ultimate trade thesis? Our ultimate trade thesis is that yes, price is going to be down here in the $18,000 to $20,000 range, not below 15. Not below 15, that would violate the 4-year cycle thesis. But, you know, hey, hits and misses are okay. We're not going to get it all the time. Thank you, Master the Fun and Bozidar. I can't pronounce that last name. Well, I can't see it all, to be quite honest with you, because of the way that things show up on my screen. But thank you guys for the subs on YouTube. I appreciate that. Girish Babu and Alvaro Fernandez, I see you as there well too. Yeah, Tyler pointing out that this is the third death cross since the last cycle high. Historically a failure. Yeah, good stuff, guys. All right, let's come down to the daily here. Did you guys notice I got the buy, sell, and trade sign hung? That sign is like 100 years old. It's like the, historic art, I was going to say Art Deco. I don't know why I was going to say Art Deco. Probably because you hear art people, you hear the term Art Deco when people are like, oh, look at my fancy, like Art Deco, like thing, sculpture, like whatever. Like, come on, dude. All right, daily time frame. Yeah, same thing we were basically just looking at. We've got the death cross, we've got this consolidation and the spring down. Now I want to go to volatility. I want to look at our volatility system. Yeah, so we did have, we can see the contraction of the Bollinger Bands here after this period of expansion. This isn't really scary to me too much, just looking at this chart. BBWP is not, really didn't tap the blue zone. We can see the Bollinger Bands, are not nearly as contracted as they were. We can just, continue to see consolidation here. That's absolutely fine. And also, don't forget, typically, a bullish trade setup is when price goes below the lower boundary of the Bollinger Bands and then comes back up. So we don't have that yet. We are teasing it, testing it, playing with it, nursing it, nudging it, but we're not quite there yet. So I'm not too terribly intimidated by this movement to the downside. It's, what is this? This is a 2.83% movement. Come on, guys. Let's see here. PTP on the daily. Let's see what PTP is recommending. Yeah, so PTP on the daily, we were actually, the slope of the Hall moving average 60 is still bearish. All right, so overall things are bearish. Like, I'm being a contrarian trader here, and that's absolutely fine. You can follow me or not follow me. That's fine. We don't have an upward sloping HMA 60 yet. We don't have an upward sloping baseline, so not incredibly bullish. And we are breaking down below the daily baseline right now, as well as a continuation signal from Minx. We don't actually have the fire the gun signal from Wadatar explosion. We do have increasing volatility, which is weird. But we don't have that negative delta, that bearish momentum above either the explosion level or the dead zone. So there's no real breakout here. I'm not seeing something that I would really want to trade. This looks very trappy to me. And I'm probably saying that because I'm justifying my long positions, but hey, what else am I going to do? It's my show, right? So anyways, 4-hour time frame. Let's look at the reversal system. So why am I doing this? Can you guys follow just as you guys are following my ideology here? We determine general bias or positional bias from the weekly time frame. Positional bias in the weekly time frame is bearish. All right. So we should be looking for opportunities to really short on the daily. All right. And I'm not, again, this just isn't typically the type of trade that I want to take. I'm just not feeling it. So because even though we're bearish on the weekly, we can see that there's a lot of consolidation, not a lot of follow through here on the daily time frame. So we are kind of looking for long justification down as we start descending on the lower time frames, or looking if there is any kind of signal or any trade to take. Now, what I see here so far is we have, contraction of the Bollinger Bands, and then we have this breakdown. We've now pushed ourselves into oversold territory and no immediate follow through. All right. So in fact, we have a little bit of consolidation right here, an indecision candle. Again, I longed this. I longed on this dump. I'm underwater right now in that recent position. I was a little too early to it, but we're going to look for price to reclaim the 4-hour Bollinger Bands and then ideally move back up here toward the top of the range, 26,224. I'd like to see price overall get to like 27.6, but we shall see. Hourly time frame, again, same thing. Big massive dump and consolidation here. We can now switch to the intraday system so that we can see this in a little bit more clarity. We are getting a buy signal from IsaSpot on the hourly right now, about 4.7 thousand more Bitcoin sold within this daily period. Yeah, so almost about 4.7. Yeah, so about 5,000 Bitcoin sold this trading session today. We can see that volatility has peaked out here on the hourly, and we do see this big explosion of open interest, massive drop of open interest here on this down candle, and then now ramping back up. I love to see that destruction of open interest and then immediate significant buying pressure. And what's interesting about this open interest here is that the fact, look at this big increase of open interest here, right here. The fact that price didn't move at all, and the fact that we have a doji candle, obviously, what is a doji candle? Let's just take a step back. A doji candle is an indecision candle when you have almost an equal amount of buying and selling. So we have an almost equal amount of buying and selling here, which indicates that the bears are not fully in control, right? There's an equal amount of buying and selling here. We can see, so we can, from open interest blows up here, but price doesn't move at all. Why? Because there's an equal amount of buying and selling almost, right? There was actually a little bit more buying than selling there. So this tells me that the bears are not in full control of this movement, and leads me to be a little bit more contrarian here. So big volume dump, big volume pump right here, massive drop in open interest. That's typically exactly what I look for on an intraday basis to enter into a reversal position or a contrarian position and take price in the opposite direction of whichever way price is moving. Okay. And let's get down here on the 15-minute time frame, see if we see anything more significant. Yeah, just consolidation down here at the low so far. Same exact thing. And we got a 15-minute buy signal. You see this big drop in open interest throughout this section right here. And we actually see open interest ramping up quite a bit. I don't think this is sufficient for the continuation. Like, I don't think this was the profitable maneuver here. Like, there's only like what? This was maybe 1%. Yeah, 1% to the upside. So that's your snipers. I don't know if there's going to be... Yeah, just not really too impressed. But we'll keep an eye on it, guys. Obviously, it's nice to finally get some volatility out of BTC. Let's see here. Tyler asks, what settings am I using for the BBWP? Length of 9, look back of 81. I think this is all just the default stuff. Yeah. Price source close, SMA 981. SMA of 5. Yeah. All right. Let's take our gaze to Ethereum real quick. Same thing. Same thing. Weekly time frame, Ethereum has broken down and traded below the weekly baseline here. We can also see the weekly baseline begin its tilt and curve. We do actually have a little bit of oversold minks, actually a little bit of technical bullish divergence here as well on the weekly time frame. Interesting for Ethereum. But I am significantly more bearish on Ethereum than Bitcoin. I want to tell you why. Yeah, so Ethereum is hovering at its support level of about 1.6 thousand, and it's actually broken that. And as Ethereum, so we recently got this report about Ethereum revenue, and Ethereum revenue is really disappointing, I think, to Ethereum holders. So ultimately, of course, my prediction is $1,000 Ethereum by the end of the year, and Ethereum is also significantly underperforming Bitcoin. We can see that from the ETH Bitcoin ratio. That's all we ever have to look at, right? We just look at the ETH Bitcoin ratio, and the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio is just going down and 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 going down. I don't get this thing about, Ethereum being ultrasound money. We're going to be looking at an interesting protocol here later on called Botanics, which is looking to build Ethereum on top of Bitcoin as a layer 2. So very interesting. Very, very, very cool. Sorry, let's get back to ETHUSD here real quick. Yeah, so bearish on the weekly, except for this potential technical bullish divergence, which might give us a little bit of a relief rally here for Ethereum. We have that same breakdown on the daily time frame as we can see here from Ethereum, excuse me. The slope of the daily baseline is still moving to the downside, so still bearish, of course. We have Minx actually giving a continuation signal potentially right over here, but we were above the baseline, so that doesn't count. Of course, if you're just using the slope, then that's totally fine. We are descending slightly into oversold territory, but unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum actually is going to be giving what we would consider a trading signal. We are close enough to the baseline. Minx is bearish, and we actually do have that bearish momentum coming in from Wadatar explosion. So potentially taking, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum are not going to move in opposite directions, which is, so like, what's the point? So there is no point in shorting Ethereum and longing Bitcoin there. I mean, well, that's not necessarily true. You can, of course, make money that way because of the beta between the volatility of the two positions. But I think that's like really convoluted and complicated. And for a trader, for most of the traders watching this, I would just recommend just taking a position based on your conviction and your strategy, right? Like if you have a momentum breakout strategy, then you're looking at this as a momentum breakout, then go short. And if you're a contrarian and you have, your system is telling you that, hey, this is probably a good time to long, then just take the long. Don't do all this like split hedging, like BS, right? That hedge funds do. Like, you don't need to do it. You're not going to make money earning, 0.25% off the basis in, between the differences in volatility of the price. So completely unnecessary, but hey, what do I know? So same thing on the 4 hour for, let's get to the reversal system here. We are, of course, getting pretty oversold on the 4 hour time frame. So pretty significant move to the downside. I would expect like at least a little bit of a movement up here, maybe to 1596. Of course, we can get a little bit more technical with that. Give me just a second. We will put on session volume profile. And let's go down to like the hourly for a little bit more granularity. Yeah, so we had the majority of volume come in today around 1588. So I would be looking for a movement up to 1588 on this little relief rally, and then kind of seeing if this level is reclaimed and then we keep pumping back up, then we just saw a sweep. And we're actually going to be experiencing an uptrend in cryptocurrency probably for the rest of the week. And if we move up and reject, then this is kind of your probably early area to be looking for shorts. But I would still be pretty hesitant here. I would probably want to see this level, like what looks like rejection. What I'd be worried about taking the short here is this, obviously just continue moving up after a little bit of consolidation to kind of trap people in their short positions. But I would probably want to see, this and then probably losing this level. And then yeah, that would be good. Of course, that goes a little bit against what I said earlier. So kind of have to use your own best mind here. Of course, we do also have some significant liquidity at 1577 and then some big gaps right here. So whenever doing this, like always just shoot a little bit below these areas because then you're likely to get filled. If you target the actual zones, then the people who are targeting a little bit before it might grab up all the liquidity and you might not get filled. Because what I mean by might not get filled, price might not go that far. Obviously, it depends on what exchange you're on and whatnot. Okay, so yeah, little intraday bullish here on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Potentially no reason to be. The weekly, the daily is relatively bearish, and overall, my conviction is that we are in the mid-cycle lull. We're probably done putting in highs for the year. It's probably going to be majority down only, particularly for altcoins. I think it's going to be pretty brutal for altcoins moving forward into the rest of the year. So we're probably going to primarily focus on shorts. And we're probably going to primarily focus on our BTC and Ethereum intraday trading to tide us over while we continue to accumulate. And again, what are we accumulating with? We're accumulating with the money out of our paycheck. That's what we're doing. We're working. Like I'm working right now. Like obviously, like YouTube pays me. And I will take that money and I'm going to buy Bitcoin with it. Appreciate you guys. So, I mean, not just Bitcoin. I've got a wide range of things. But not too many things. Like, more than 10 things is really difficult to manage. And when the heat of the bull market comes on and it's just, you can do the rotation strategy, which is like you hold BTCF and then BTCF pump and then BTCF, kind of consolidate. And then you enter into altcoins. And then you wait to see when BTC starts moving down and then you exit back into BTC and ETH. And then you just repeat the process over and over and over again. But, and then you cash out. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. All right. Okay, so in summary, guys, Bitcoin is consolidating, was consolidating its support, still basically consolidating its support. We've got a little bit of I wouldn't say decisive movement, but we did get something today, some volatility, pushing us into oversold territory. So reversal traders are probably scooping up longs. That's exactly what I'm doing. And trend following traders, momentum traders are probably trying to position, or already positioned. I wouldn't necessarily recommend shorting here for the continued moving downside. There are a lot of the bearish developments that are going on in the cryptocurrency markets, but this is exactly what we predicted for in our 4-year cycle thesis. We have entered the mid-cycle lull, and that's going to end with prices back around $18,000 to $20,000 by the end of the year, or potentially toward the beginning of early next year. And that will be the last opportunity to purchase BTC before the bull market rally begins. I'm pretty sure that my conviction is that highs are pretty much in, like, for the year. At this point in time, after moving down this far, I would be surprised if we actually got a secondary rally up to like 34. Still a possibility, but I think unlikely. The only thing that would probably get us there, potential catalysts, is going to be an SEC spot BTC approval. But we saw how short-lived the positive Grayscale news was, if you guys will recall. Grayscale, was winning against the SEC, and then, price pumped, and then it didn't go anywhere. It's completely retraced. So today, I still have long positions open for BTC in my copy trade account. If the lows hold today, we can still pump to at least the top of our current daily range, and then we can evaluate if that looks like a good area for beginning to accumulate shorts or not. My higher mind says absolutely yes. If we get if we pump back up to the range high, absolutely stacking shorts. Again, interesting that traditional markets are performing well today. The NQ, the SPY are starting off the week pretty strong, while crypto is down. But consider this: even though Bitcoin has outperformed the NQ by almost twice, double this year, the NQ put in its like 32, 35%, like slowly and organically over time, whereas Bitcoin, went up like 65% for the year in like 3 weeks. So I would say that Bitcoin's rally is certainly on shakier ground. All right, guys, let's move into altcoins. We've got a lot to talk about with altcoins, and it's all pretty bad. It's all pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. He's a big. Get him. Yes, I did see. Sorry, let's take a break for the chat, guys. Shout outs to Alexander Pearson, the man, the myth, the legend. Tyler, we've got Fetty in there. Fetty, I'm going to be getting, I apologize. I didn't get a chance to contact you over the weekend, but I did add you as a friend on Discord. I am going to be hitting you up today, a couple hours after the stream. I got a few things to do, and then I'm going to get that $100 worth of XRP over to you. Thank you so much. For those of you who aren't aware of what the heck I'm talking about, we ran a little promotion for getting, we were like baiting. I offered to give people money if they liked my video on YouTube, which they did. Thank you very much. That was the copy trade video. So highly recommend you guys go over and watch the copy trading video and give it a thumbs up too. You're not going to get $100, but I will deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate it. Yeah, Alex, I do think, Three Black Crows does look very, very similar to what's going on right now. Alex 81SG, shout outs to you, my friend. Monday's Dump never disappoints. He says, funny how all the FUD magically ends up lining up perfectly with support levels and other events. FTX's liquidation, Alex's losses are very consistent. B-Flow, I believe you already have tiger blood flowing through your veins, man. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Alex, I see you were yelling at me over here. But see, I'm doing this thing where, and I learned, I've recently been taught this, right? It's just like for like anxiety and to be a better performer on stream, which hopefully you guys are noticing. Usually, I used to, when streaming, I would have not OBS up because there's no counter on there for like how many people are watching me, but I would have the YouTube page up where I can like see how many people are watching. And, most people watch us on YouTube. So obviously I don't know how many people are watching us on Twitch or DLive or Twitter. But when I don't see that number, I just, in my head, I just tell myself like there's 1,000 people watching me, like, so be entertaining. Right. But when I look over and I see that it's like, 7 or 10, like it's cool. I love doing what I'm doing. This is fun for me. But it can be like a little like, there's only 2 people watching me and like I work so hard to do this, but like that's my grind. That's my job. And so, but when I don't look at that at all, so I apologize for being a little slow to the chat, but hopefully you guys appreciate the increased entertainment value, let's say. Tyler says, if you are wondering how to interpret a given signal, backtest it. Absolutely, my friend. Magnus, yeah, see, people aren't hitting the like button. He missed the announcement. Yeah, Vitalik's Twitter was hacked. Yes, that is correct. Black Beauty Machine, good to see you, my friend. Alex says that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin next bull market. Need to mute Alex in the chat. He's yeah, by definition, he says if you take a position in all the coins in the market, you get an average of the market. Yes. Yep, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, you know, people say, you know, you're going to hear this like, diversify your portfolio, diversify your portfolio. Listen, diversifying your portfolio is a fantastic concept if you've already made it, if you're already wealthy, right? Portfolio diversification does not grow wealth, it sustains it. So if you're already wealthy and you want to stay wealthy, yes, spread your assets out so that you're not, so that you spread your risk out to a lot of different sectors. Now, obviously, I don't recommend like diversifying your portfolio into altcoins, but you know, for real, if you make, listen, guys, I'm just being really honest with you. This is exactly like, you know, this is exactly what Kobe did. If anybody's on crypto Twitter, you guys know who Kobe is. All right. Kobe made millions in the crypto market, millions, big millions. And, you know, I listen to his podcast and stuff and he's like, yeah, like he's like nowadays, like my portfolio is like 2% crypto, right? Because he's made it. He's not trying to lose it all. You know, crypto can go up in a heartbeat. It can go down in a heartbeat too, right? And you know, I'm a long-term Bitcoin bull, that's fine. But the other stuff is woo, in and out, man. So yeah, if you guys make millions of dollars in this cycle and you want to, you know, change your life forever, you need to put that money into dividend stocks. You know what I mean? Put it into dividend stocks, put it into your 401k and just be chilling, you know, for the rest of your life. So maybe don't put it in your 401k. I don't know why I said that. It's not a little reactionary, but you get the point. All right. So altcoins, let's talk about altcoins. And it's pretty much all bad. It's all bad. So, it's all bad. Where do we start? Where do I want to start? Okay. So I mentioned this last week. I talked about this last week that there was pretty much a dark cloud looming over altcoins. And we don't know anything for sure yet. We are going to find out in 2 days. On Wednesday, there is going to be the FTX hearing. All right. Where the FTX, what is the correct term? The people who are handling all of FTX's assets, they are going to announce their official plan for what they plan to do. We already know that they have about 3.4 to 4.3. I think it was 4.3 originally, and now it's valued at $3.4 billion worth of altcoins. And I have pretty much the full list from the court documents right here that I'm going to show you in just a second. And their intention is to sell off all those assets in tranches of about $200 to $300 million per week. And that would put them selling until the end of the year, pretty much. So there is $200 to $300 million of sell side liquidity that's going to be coming in to many of the majors over the next, 4 to 6 months. And it's very bad. It's not good, guys, especially with liquidity drying up. Like maybe if we were in the depths of a bull market, like sure, like, we can take that and it just slows the bull market down. But like in a bear market, that is the straw that can break the altcoin camel's back. All right. So things can get really, really bad. And it's particularly bad. The worst coin it's bad for is Solana. So, I mean, I'm seeing so much Solana Moonboy stuff and it's insane to me. Like, it's like they don't understand math because by far, I believe one of their biggest holdings is Solana. So, so $15, $10 Solana, absolutely, maybe even $5 Solana. And Solana might never recover from this. So, and Solana is already down 6% since that announcement last week, and the funding rate on futures turned negative. It's negative 14%, probably higher, and is going to decline even further. And of course, Solana already broke support at $19. Yeah, so let's look here. You guys will notice my very handsome Solana triangle here. So we'll see. If this triangle plays out, then we would actually like pump back up here like 40%, maybe to like $25. But things don't look super good for Solana after losing that support at 19. Obviously, where our next targets, we don't need any other tool except for VRVP, previously VPVR. And where do we have liquidity? We have liquidity at about $16. and we have liquidity down at about $13, and then we have liquidity around $10. All right. So, big suction hose of liquidity. You guys can see how quickly we fell through this one. So potentially consolidation here, either consolidation here, or we get this movement to the upside here. As a trader, this is a fine setup, right? To I went long on near. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Just you could play off the technicals here, but in this situation, I think we really have to pay attention to the fundamentals. Of course, nothing is announced yet, so we could get this whack-a-mole movement up, this pump in Solana before any of the distributions start happening, just like on contrary news, but it is not good. In addition to that, ApeCoin, yes, that's right, the coin that was created out of thin air by the bored and mutant apes out there so they could make more money. They have a massive unlock right around the corner, and I think 11% of the outstanding tokens are going to be released to, of course, mostly insiders, and that's about $50 million in supply pressure coming into the markets. Of course, ApeCoin already pretty low, so we don't really have how low can we go? We're already in. What's the opposite of a blue sky breakout? Blue sky. We're in the Earth's core. We are in the magma, right? We are below the Earth's crust with ApeCoin's price. It's just been down only for a hot second here, guys. Current point of control is all the way up here at about $2, and we are currently trading at about $1.15. We have no points of liquidity below us, just continuing to slide down. Whoa, almost lost my setup there. Just continuing to slide down. And oh my God, I just realized that you guys can't see. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This is why I should probably have my bad. All right, let's just rewind just 1 second. Kick myself here. Glad you guys hopefully I'm entertaining enough. We were looking at Solana. And I was pointing out that our levels of liquidity lay below us at about $16. And $13, and then down here at $10, and things are pretty bad. Same for Ape USD. We have this big unlock coming right around the corner, 11%, about $50 million, and we're just as low. We're already at the low price. This is we're in the Earth's crust, right below the Earth's crust. So no real good predictions for ApeCoin. Not obviously, it's quite possible that the token owners will not actually dump into this negativity, but I mean, I would. Right? Alex is like, what do we need to look at the chart for? We know what it looks like. It's red. It's going to be red. There's going to be a red chart. Juan Gomez, thanks so much for the subscription on YouTube, my friend. Welcome to the community. Listen, so I should I wish a pop-up would show up, right? You can't immediately participate in chat. Even if you're a subscriber, you have to be a subscriber for a week, and we've instituted that rule just because we've been doing it for about a year now, and it's really cut down on spam and malicious links and all that stuff. So appreciate the support, and you guys will be able to chat with us in just a week. Just keep watching. Life's good. Let's see here. We already talked about Ethereum. So now let's just show you the evidence. So this is from the actual court case. This is a submitted piece of evidence. This is FTX's digital asset holdings. So as you can see, the current value of their crypto portfolio is about $3.4 billion. And their number one holding is Solana, as you guys can see. Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Aptos, USDT, Ripple, ByBit's token, Stargate, Wrapped Bitcoin, and Wrapped Ethereum. And they intend on pretty much dumping all of this into the market. Was their stated goal. This is what they've already stated that they want to do, because they want to return fiat to their clients and not crypto, which I completely get. Let's see here. And then we've got all these post ICO tokens and pre ICO tokens that they have as well. Whole, Fuel, Swim, FAR, GGX, 1inch, Mina, Matic, Near. They have all these tokens as well. And then they have all these category B tokens as well. Serum, Maps, OKY, Media, FIDA, Burrs, HXRO, GT, ALM, Ronin, Multiplex, Mingo, Aleph, Kin, SLND, PRT, Agility, Blur, Polis, and Ori. So the ones here I'm familiar with. Obviously, I've traded Blur before, AGI, Kin, I've traded quite a bit. Aleph, I've traded Mingo, MPLX, Serum, Ron. Obviously, I still have Ronin because I was playing Axie Infinity. I'm not too familiar with these other category B tokens, but they have all of this, about $3.4 billion, and they're going to dump it on the market. So what's up, guys? So yeah, not really looking super good. Okay, the next thing we're going to be talking about is DeFi. But before we look into DeFi, I just want to look at and show you guys some alternative takes. It's not just, listen, this show is not, and hopefully you guys don't ever get this. Like, yes, I am a trader. Yes, I am an analyst. Yes, I have ideas. Yes, I can often be quite, serious about them. But I am an open-minded person. I spend, hell, let's talk about this. Come here. So every morning I get up at 5 o'clock and nobody else is awake in my house, right? Like, there's kids and my wife and everything and 2 dogs and 5 o'clock in the morning rolls around and there's just nobody but me. And it's amazing. And I don't drink coffee first thing in the morning. That's really bad for you. If you guys aren't aware of that, go watch Andrew Huberman's video on caffeine and coffee. You should absolutely wait an hour before drinking coffee in the morning because it allows the whatever the neurotransmitters that caffeine binds to in your body, allows those to get released because they lock up during your sleep. And that's why you get the afternoon crash if you kind of wake up first thing and have your coffee. It leads to afternoon crashes. But if you just wait an hour, then you can drink coffee and no crash. It's totally fine. Right. So coffee at 6. So I wake up, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work out, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't, and Saturday and Sunday, I don't. So anyways, my point is that I come out and the first thing I do if I'm not working out or right after I work out is I sit down and I read probably like 4 or 5 newsletters. I read probably like 5 to 10 Discord or Telegram channels. Kind of depends on like what I'm into at the point in time. I look at my messages. Typically, like I usually don't respond, but I like to read things and then I note down like who I need to respond to and what conversations I need to continue forward. And then I look at the charts and I look at my positions and I don't do anything. That's the thing. Like I don't do anything. If I have time, like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll write my market update at that point in time, but I won't actually take action or take any trades. It's typically a rule of mine. And then I'll go inside and make coffee and, get the kids up and get them off school and all that stuff. Right. And then, I'll shower and I'll run the dogs and then I'll sit down and I'll start working. But the point is that allows all that time, when I'm, getting my kids off to school and running the dogs and all these kind of things to just think and condense on everything that I've taken in. And that pause between research and action allows me to avoid emotional decision making. So many times in my trading career, I've like sat down, like what's going on? Oh my God, look at that chart. And then I got to do something. And like, God, it's always the bad move, right? That is completely the wrong move. Like if you're not prepared for the move, then that's not your trade, guys. So anyways, just wanted to share that with you because it's so important to look at other people's analysis. It's so important to be open to constructive criticism with your trading ideas. It's so important to just look around, right? And not live in your little echo chamber and view all the data. Now, obviously this can have negative consequences. You can take in too much and then you can't form your own trade theses and convictions. But, I think that if you just keep an open mind and you just stick to what you know is good and what you're working at and you follow forward with an empirical methodology, you will become a better trader and life will be good with you. So, all right, just wanted to share that. Let's go look at some other ideas of what Bitcoin's doing. Water, tea, and breakfast, then coffee. Good for you, man. Yes, I do believe that the Swedes are like 50% coffee. All right, so I'm not sure who this one comes from. This chart was in one of the Telegram channels that I'm in. But this is pretty interesting. Obviously, this idea that Bitcoin has this long-term upward sloping trend line. Obviously, it's not perfect. There have been situations in which we have wicked below it, so it's not like this magical thing. But just this idea that pretty much for the last 4 cycles, that price has respected this overall upward sloping trend line, and we are very close to that, right? We are very, very close to that. I believe that the price here is, again, around that $18,000 to $20,000 target, which is exactly what we've been talking about. And this is projecting, again, I'm not necessarily know if I agree with this. There's the Puel multiple and everything there's many charts that I could show you guys from Glassnode, looking at where we might top. 360,000 seems a little crazy to me, because we've gotten exponentially reducing returns from bull market high to next bull market high. This is analysis that I shared. It's in that latest YouTube video that you guys should go watch, but how to prepare for the next cryptocurrency bull market, which I just released yesterday. But, like, for example, like the first one was like 6,000, then it was like 1,200, and then the last cycle was like 250 or something like that. So the best projections I've seen now are like around 100%. So that would be putting price between $130,000 and $170,000. So this is significantly higher than that at 360. But hey, like, we can certainly dream. So again, quite bullish in the long term here. And this, absolutely, I agree with this 100%. Obviously, again, as a trader, I cannot tell you exactly, whether, obviously I have long positions here. Like maybe we dump today, maybe we continue moving down, maybe we pump, who knows? Like I just take my trades. But overall, the macro, I'm very confident on. This is very roughly what it's going to look like. We will have a little bit of a dump down to our support level, and then we'll pretty much be off to the races. Okay, from Crypto Quant, who's a great analyst, we have this idea. We're looking at the rate of change, and we're looking at these periods of the Bitcoin market where we go from distribution to reaccumulation. All right, or excuse me, not quite. Where we go from markup to reaccumulation, right? So we can see the same thing. This was coming off of the back of the 2019 market. Obviously, we had already bottomed in early 2019. Late 2018, and we had rallied up to like, I think 12 to 13,000, something like that. And then we hit that mid-cycle lull where we slid down here. We had this little bit of a sell-off, some consolidation here, a little bit of a rally, and then this is the March meltdown in March 2020, or the COVID crash or whatever. And then you can see we're off to the races. So notice how, the price action and the print of the rate of change is very similar here, where we get this negative rate of change following a rally. Okay, we get the same thing here. This is the big rally of 2020, 2021, and then this is the 50% correction. We enter into that same rate of change, that big lull. We have that very negative print on the rate of change, and then this is reaccumulation because we do push higher for a secondary rally. And here we are again. We've already bottomed. We've bottomed in 2022. We've had the 2023 kind of pre-rally, the pre-game that we've tailgated. We've tailgated the bull market, ladies and gentlemen. We have already attended the tailgate. We are now at the pre-party. All right, we are now at the pre-party. And you can see that the rate of change print is very similar to the two previously, suggesting that we are in that reaccumulation period. Again, I just want to stress, though, that while this chart is also suggesting, like the previous chart, very bullish things to come, notice that in both these situations, we had big corrections in these periods, right? Now, whether or not we're going to get this massive, violent, like, March meltdown like we did last year, not necessarily the case. But we have had some in every previous cycle, we've always sold back down close to the capitulation bear market bottom, but not the actual. We've never gone below that. So, all right. So thank you, Crypto Quant. I do believe I have one more Crypto Quant chart. Yeah. So this is tied to those FTX, tied to the FTX situation. As you saw, BTC, I believe, was FTX's like second largest holding. And there have been rumors kind of circulating around on crypto Twitter that there's been a lot of deposits of Bitcoin to exchanges linked to FTX wallets. And that's not the case. It's not the case at all. That's a complete rumor. We can actually see here that that inflows into exchanges have actually completely lulled and are very, very low, right? So Bitcoin flowing into exchanges is very, very low. In fact, Bitcoin balances on exchanges, I don't think has ever been as low as it is now in recent history. So just completely not true. Not true at all. And I'm sure you guys probably heard this over the weekend, but if you didn't, hey, signs of the times. So yes, you are looking at this correctly. There was a Bitcoin transaction here where an individual paid it's like 19 Bitcoin or $510,000 in a transaction fee. All right, this was a SegWit transaction, RBF transaction. And this individual paid $510,000 and a transaction fee to send. Not that much. They overpaid 479,000 times what they should have paid. Big ouch. I mean, big ouch to this individual. Very important to be careful here, guys. Like, again, you know, if you don't know how to use these, like, you know, software wallets on your computer, like, be very careful. Always double check your fee, you know, like whether, you know, any software that you're going to use is going to let you know like what the fee is. And man, whew, jeez, gosh, that's painful. That just hurts to look at. And then I want to share this with you. So you've probably seen this before. This was created. This was created in 1875. All right. You guys see that? And this was, I guess, a prediction, or so to speak, but this idea, this cycle of years. And so we have like three, you know, they basically predicted the future, and we have three categories: years in which panics have occurred and will occur again: 1927, 45. What happened in 1945? 65, 81, 99. You know, again, Y2K, and of course, September 11, not too far away. 2019, COVID. 2035. We're going to see what kind of comes around that time, 2053. And then, okay, so that's all like when panics occur. But B, this is where it gets really interesting. B, years of good times, high prices, and the time to sell stocks and values of all kinds. 2007, absolutely right before the 2007 market crash, we were high. 2016, absolutely. This is saying 2026 is going to be the time when prices are going to be high and when we should sell, and this makes absolute sense. This is going to be the next Bitcoin bull market. This is going to be the next cryptocurrency bull market. It's going to begin in late 2024, early 2025, or probably potentially right after the halving. Maybe it will really begin like after the halving in like May 2024, and proceed up till about 2026. Again, you know, we're not going to be like 100% accurate, but just like to have that pretty close precision with a slight margin of error is pretty awesome. And then we have years of hard times, low prices, and a good time to buy stocks, basically everything, and hold until the boom reaches like the good times and unload. 2012, I sure say so. Yeah, it was a great time. 2023 is the time it's saying to buy and hold until 2026. Right? So I know that sounds like a lot, guys. It's a 3-year commitment to your life, but this is what can change your life, right? It's just beautiful. Just beautiful to see kind of like this ancient wisdom. At your desktop, good man. Man. All right, let's talk DeFi, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk DeFi. We got a lot to talk about today. Well, not too much, I guess, but a little bit. Let's go over to DeFi Llama. The llama. Chains are pretty red today. Obviously, as you guys can see, Gnosis is performing probably the best out of the chains that we're kind of interested in. Somewhere down here. Yeah, Gnosis is up about 18.87%. Base probably performing the worst, down about 10% this week. So, let's see here. As far as protocols go, yeah, so Gnosis still growing good. A lot of things happening on Gnosis. As far as protocols go, protocols are pretty red today as well. Alchemix is still doing really well. Alchemix and Friendtech is obviously still doing very well. Friendtech and Alchemix, two pretty popular projects that are doing quite well. I'm not sure where Alchemix is here, but I know it was doing well, and all the other ones are I'm not too sure about. But yeah, there we go. Alchemix. Here we go. Yeah, Synthetics, and it's up about 28, almost 30% for the week. Quite a bit of TVL, so things are good. You notice that I didn't filter for TVL here. If I filter for TVL, min, we'll say like, I don't know, 10 million. There we go. Yeah. So Friendtech, Action Ariat, which is a real world asset tokenization protocol, and Alchemix, right? So Alchemix still performing very well. A lot of cool things happening over on Alchemix, multiple chains, Ethereum, Optimism, and Phantom. So if you guys want to go trade on Alchemix, it's kind of fun. Okay. So we do have a new Gamblify / oh shoot, sorry guys. I'm going to have to do this. Sorry, from here. So I'm just going to share this stuff with you guys. We do have a new GambleFi / Telegram bot protocol called Wager Protocol. Doesn't appear that they have released a token. Not sure if they're going to release a token. So basically just patiently waiting to ape. I've had a lot of success with basically aping into projects early lately and just riding that initial pump. Overall, I've just kind of expanded my Twitter list. Most of the projects I find on Twitter. Essentially just looking for the, in my video, which you should definitely watch, how to snipe 100x altcoins. It's in our Trading Crypto 101 playlist. I go over how to use like Dex Screener to identify coins that just launched, but you see, that's very dangerous, because you can't just like ape into things just because they're listing. But what you can do is just, again, follow announcements, follow influencers that actually post good projects. So I get most of my DeFi information on Twitter, Telegram, Discord. And anyways, just aping into projects pretty much as soon as they come out. Looking for a 2 to 3x. Been pretty successful with that, actually. It is like slowing down a little bit, I'm noticing, over the last like month or so. It's slowing down quite a bit. It was hotter like earlier this year, but that's okay. We're just getting into the last stages of the bear market. But again, now, okay, so this is kind of neat. I did actually, this is just a Telegram wager bot. You can deposit USDT and you can bet on sports betting, which is pretty cool. It was pretty seamless and easy to use. They've got like provably fair play and all that stuff, right? So I will leave a link to all this stuff in the description. You guys can check it out after the show if you're interested. And this is their official Twitter. It's just Wager Protocol. Now, a project that I'm actually excited about is Botanics. I've never, I've seen some stuff like this before that really haven't followed through. But I read this and did a little digging, and I'm actually pretty excited about this. So the project or the team is called Botanics Lab, and they are launching this thing called Botanics. And this is some pretty gigabrain stuff here, but essentially they are building a decentralized layer 2 on top of Bitcoin that will act just like Ethereum. And again, very cool read. I highly recommend checking this out. Their official Twitter is Botanics with an X, BOTANIX Labs. Again, I'll leave a link in the description after the video. botanicslabs.xyz. If you guys want to go check out their website, they're like Linktree and stuff. But this is really cool. So they're talking about soon you'll be able to build your favorite dApps on Bitcoin using Botanics. And it's saying Botanics is fully Ethereum equivalent in the sense that developers will have to make no changes to their dApps, and your favorite tools will work seamlessly. So if that is to be the case, then they're saying that they could just port over Ethereum dApps, essentially written in Solidity, maybe, essentially? I don't know. They're going to be using this thing called the Spider Chain, which uses decentralized multi-sigs to enable proof-of-stake consensus for staking and securing Bitcoin's two-way peg. They're saying you'll be able to stake BTC, Bitcoin, on Bitcoin via the Spider Chain. And what's cool about this is that they don't require, their Spider Chain does not need a Bitcoin soft fork, as it works on decentralized Frost multi-sigs. All right. So they're, again, using multi-sigs to enable proof of stake consensus, which is really cool. Like really, really, really cool. So, yeah, you guys go check this out if you're interested. botanicslab.xyz. I recommend, if you're interested in this, I recommend, and if you want to speculate on this, I recommend joining their Telegram or their Discord and becoming an active member of the community. That is how they have said they will be choosing testnet individuals. And that means, and if there's any kind of token, then it is testnetters who generally get tokens. So definitely go check that out. Next, there is a new perpetual protocol on Base, and Base tokens have been doing still okay. So still viable, called Nether. So this is a new decentralized perpetual exchange on the Base platform. This is their official Twitter. Just a second. Their official Twitter is netherlabs_. Now this one does have a token. And you can stake it on their platform and earn a pretty insane APY. But unfortunately, because from what I understand, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but it just looks like it. This is the chart. And so, and obviously this is not great. So, you know, some might look at this and be like, oh, this is sexy, right? But unfortunately, this just really looks to me like what happens if you have an inflationary token where people are getting paid out in the token. And then people just dump the token because they have no incentive to hold it. So, yeah, unfortunately, maybe there's a play here. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but this is just kind of what that chart looks like to me. So yeah, still relatively early. Like this has only been out for a few days, but you know, we already have pretty big gigapump, and you know, now we're just kind of speculating on like a secondary pump, and potentially we've got a lot of trap traders here. So I don't know, maybe this is not trap traders at all. Maybe this is just, you know, early snipes, and now we can actually get some market structure and things like that. But unfortunately, kind of the only project I have for you today, the only one with a token to potentially go do something with about right now, doesn't look super attractive to me. So, but I will leave all that information with you guys so that you guys can check it out. Their official Twitter is @netherlabs_, and it is nether.fi on the base blockchain. Okay. Big and Tall asks in the chat, what about Mount Gox? Do you mean like what about them selling the potential catalyst? If that's what you're referring to, I'm not really scared of that. I think like if this was any other altcoin and we were talking about like this big massive unlock, I would be terrified. I'd be like, oh, that coin's going to zero, like Solana, right? And ApeCoin. But with Bitcoin, I mean, man, Bitcoiners are crazy, dude. Like, you know, Bitcoiners are likely to hold the majority of those funds, and like that whole distribution might overall be bullish instead of bearish. Again, it could go either way, but just the fact that a lot of Bitcoin is going to be released doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be sold. Magnus says, if you get up at 5, when do you go to bed? So, I mean, listen, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I know sleep is very important to me, but unfortunately, I've just got a lot going on right now and I'm not getting a lot of sleep most of the time. So like generally I will go to bed around midnight. I'll get about 5 hours of sleep. I know that long term that's not healthy and that's not sustainable. So that's something I'm trying to work on and get better at in my personal life. It's just very hard for me to go to bed early. You know, like for example, like I can't just go to bed like in a dark room with no noise. Like, you know, I put my earbuds in, I listen to a podcast and I drift off. Right. So, you know, I have this, there's something, I don't know if it's like, it's very hard to describe, but it's like this, I have like no desire to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I like to like lay down and rest, but then I'm just like, you know, on my phone and like screwing around. I'm reading all the time or listening to podcasts all the time. And I just feel, I think it's like something internal. It's telling me like, why do you want to sleep, man? You're going to like, wait, you're going to miss this information that you could be hearing in this podcast. So I know that's not super healthy or sustainable. The other areas of my life are really good. Like I eat really well. I exercise really well. I'm in good shape. You know, like I feel good. I meditate, all that stuff. Could definitely get a couple more hours of sleep at night though. So, Alex says, I can't even open my eyes in the AM until I have my espresso. You know, lucky duck. That's, you know, looking for an espresso machine one of these days. Sparked Innovation, shout outs to you, my friend. Magnus says 85,000 is the next top unless an ETF is approved. I think we'll at least go above like 100,000. Maybe. Big and Tall says, I believe we will top much earlier this time around based on the 16-year cycle. I've never even heard of the 16-year cycle. Wow. How do you see Bitcoin going up significantly if the M2 money supply is still contracting? Well, I mean, I guess that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because the NQ's moved up, Bitcoin's moved up. I guess so. Hold on. I guess what you're saying essentially is that. Hold on a second. I want to make sure that. All right. Okay. So this is the chart that we have of M2. Okay. And listen, I do a lot of like listening to, you know, economics theory and macroeconomics and all that kind of stuff. Several good podcasts that I listen to, but I feel like we have almost no data on a contracting monetary supply. And so, you know, the problem that I have with a lot of these macroeconomic theories is that they have very little bearing on what actually moves price. I guess in the medium to short term. And let me be very specific when I say that. I mean, on the order of like 1 to 2 years, right? 1 to 2 years. We don't, like, this chart doesn't give us any evidence since 1959 to even potentially predict how a disruptive technology and an asset class might behave or act under consolidating, under contracting money supply. So I don't mean that to say that like, oh, like, why would you say that, dude? I'm just saying that because it can. Like, how do I see Bitcoin moving up? Because it can. Like, you know, Bitcoin's suffered recessions, it's moved up. Bitcoin suffered, you know, attacks, it's moved up. Bitcoin suffered this, it's you know. So I obviously, it's easy for me to just evolve to being like a Bitcoin bull because I am. But it's worked out for me so far. Yeah. But, you know, like, good point, like, interesting point, right? But the stock market's up this year. M2 money supply is contracting. Bitcoin's up this year. M2 money supply is contracting. Like, so what? Let's see here. But I mean, this is very interesting. Guys, make the hurdy. Sorry, man. Hey, Bedouin. Can't trust the sleep advice. Big and tall. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that too. Like, get your rest. I had 5 panic attacks while trading due to sleep deprivation, in which I was sleepwalking. Oh, damn, man. Yeah, I appreciate. I know. Listen, I know that sleep is like super important, guys. I got to get like that 8 hours. I'll get there. I need to, you know, I think I just need to like come up with like a firm sleep strategy, right? Like, okay. And I've like tried it before, like, oh, you know, like I'm going to turn the phones off here and there, but you know, it's also hard. It's also hard too, like, because, you know, it's not just like me solo dolo. Like, I share the bedroom and she's also kind of like a late night watcher. But anyways, I digress. Okay. That's about all I've got for you guys today. I really appreciate you stopping by. We've gone for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. So obviously, last minute promotion thing. If you guys appreciate what we're doing here and you want to support the stream, you want to see us back every single day, smash the like button, subscribe. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm notices us, and it's the only way we get notifications. Comment down below what you would like to see in tomorrow's show. Many ways to get involved with the community. Check out all the links in the description. I highly recommend joining our Discord. Stay connected and stay communicated long after the show is over. Sign up to copy trade me on Fairdesk and take part in their 1.8 million USDT prize pool for their 2nd anniversary trading competition. You can download my free guide, The 5 Mistakes Holding You Back from Profitable Trading. And if you are ready to take a more serious stride with your trading and you'd like to work with my team to develop your own trading strategy, consider joining the premium trading group at krakencryptocurrency.com. We will be back tomorrow. Same crypto time, same crypto network. You know, I misspoke earlier last week when I was like, oh, we're going back to our normal time at like, you know, like 1 p.m. Or at noon. I'm sorry. I guess our original streaming time was always 1 p.m. So now I got to like think about my schedule because it makes more sense to me to do it at noon on the Eastern Seaboard because I feel like we'd get the most amount of people like watching us during lunch. You know what I'm saying? Alternatively, like obviously doing the stream like at night, but I don't think that's going to work for me. All right, guys. Much love. I will be back tomorrow. Trade safely as always, and cheers.